Firstly, I received no compensation for this review. The folks at Meta35 loaned me a Meta35 unit and a Canon EOS 1V for this review. I had them both for 3 weeks and shipped them back. Meta35 also provided a press kit with the still images that are playing in this video. I provided Meta35 an advanced copy of this review so that they could make sure that it was both accurate and complete, but I did not afford them any editorial rights. The only change that Meta35 suggested was a factual inaccuracy on my part, and they clarified that Meta35 works with a camera utility with all models of camera, not just the EOS 1V. The Meta35 is best suited for learners and hobbyists. As an educational tool, Meta35 replaces the old photographer's notebook. Where Meta35 beats the notebook hands down is in data accuracy. For all cameras supported by Meta35, in its current incarnation, the software acts as a camera utility. No notebook can change your camera's functional settings. Where the notebook beats the Meta35 is that you can record your intention for the image or the print alongside exposure data. Where the utility function truly shines is that it gives you the name of the function that you are changing. With the EOS 1V at least, the function name would be coded something like F10-3. I don't know what that means. However, Meta35 simply states film rewind function. That is a significant improvement, and most people who have familiarity with the camera functions can look at the Meta35 utility and fine-tune camera performance to their wishes very quickly. For me, and I timed the customization between Meta35's interface and doing all the customizations on the EOS 1V, the Meta35 allowed me to select all of the settings I wanted to and to change them to what I wanted to change them to in about 7 minutes. Doing that through the EOS 1V's buttons underneath its secret panel took about half an hour longer. Most of that time came from having to check each menu function's code against the manual, and also on some occasions checking to try and figure out what the manual was actually trying to tell me that the camera did. All of that was taken care of for me by Meta. Meta35 seeks to provide users with the holy grail of film photography, exif data embedded in our digital files of our negatives, without the pain of manually transcribing it from a notebook. Our digital cameras do this for us, but film cameras cannot. Meta35, as of this review, supports film cameras that record image data in a manner suitable for data export from the camera. It uses each of these cameras' onboard data capabilities to retrieve exif data. And yes, the manufacturers have software for that. However, Meta35 outpaces the manufacturer's softwares in terms of logic, organization, and a clearly well thought out interface which allows a user-friendly experience. Also, Meta supports and improves their product, whereas the manufacturers have largely dropped film camera support and focused on digital camera software. Meta35 requires a software install on your computer from a USB thumb drive. The Meta35 unit itself is a USB unit separate from the thumb drive. The package also includes a cable to connect the Meta35 unit to your camera. You need to obtain digital copies of your film photos, either from the scans that come when you have your film developed or scanning them yourselves. Once your photos are uploaded to your computer, you would import them into Meta. And it doesn't make a copy in Meta, but it records their file location in the software. You can then sync the images from your camera, which you can download at any time ahead of syncing them with your film, to your images. Now, as a matter of preference and a suggestion, I preferred to sync images after I finished editing them in Photoshop. This prevented Photoshop from stripping the exif data during the editing process. Importing exif data isn't hard. Simply plug your camera into your computer, sync the data in your camera with the data already in your computer, and then sync your images with the exif data. The process takes about 10 minutes all in, from data import to complete syncing, if all of your images are already in digital format. You do need to have the same number of exif records as you do images, however, or Meta35 won't allow you to sync your images and exif data. Also, your images need to be in the same order as your exif record, though in my experience this was a non-issue when the film came back from an outside developer. The only hitch to that is if you, like me, number your files after editing sequentially. If you do, then Meta35 will import them, numbering them 1, 10 to 19, 2, 20 to 29, 3, 30 to 39, and so forth. So when you bring your images into Meta35, be sure to do a spot check to verify that your image order is aligned with your exif data. Meta35 imports all images from a folder. So if you have 3 rolls of film worth of images in a folder, you'll need to pair some out as Meta stores exif data in a separate record for each roll. In practical application, this is logical and works well and helps prevent incorrect data syncs. If you have excess images or exif data, simply find the proper excess, either on the exif or the data side, and exclude them from the data sync. Now, the data won't be lost by Meta35, only excluded. So this means that if you make a mistake in your syncing and exclude the wrong data or wrong image, you can always go back and resync correctly. The big question, though, is if Meta lives up to the billing, and yes, it does. As a tool for learners, it's exceptionally useful. If you, as a learner, use it well and properly, it will help you learn from both your mistakes and successes. Meta35 marries the most helpful aspects of digital imagery with the fun and challenge of film imagery. My sincere hope for Meta is that a future version will find some way to work with any camera. Right now, the vast majority of cameras can't be supported by Meta35. Having talked extensively with the Meta35 senior engineer, I believe that they will find a solution that will allow most or all film cameras in some capacity to work with Meta35. At that point, Meta35 will be the most useful tool created for photography in my lifetime, if not longer. Right now, Meta35 works with the Canon EOS 1V, Nikon's f6, f5, f100, f90s, f90, and f90x, and Minolta Alphas 7 and 9. With the Minoltas, however, you need the data saver and memory back, respectively. If you have one of those cameras, the Meta35 will help you improve your photography more than any other tool of which I'm aware.